Lesson 14.6, volume of a rectangular prism and liquid. Use a formula to find the volume of a rectangular prism. Find the capacity of a rectangular container and solve word problems involving volume of rectangular prisms and liquids. So first, we have to identify the length, width, and height of a rectangular prism. If all the faces of the rectangular prism are rectangles, the length of this rectangular prism is 22 centimeters, its width is 8 centimeters, and its height is 8 centimeters. So you can find the length, the width, and the height of each of these shapes, which you will do on IXL and in your workbook. And then to find the volume, we did some volume practice before with 1 centimeter cubes. So there are 21 centimeter cubes in A, and another layer of 1 centimeter cubes is used to build B. So there are 2 layers of 1 centimeter cubes, and each layer is made up of 21 centimeter cubes. 20 plus 20 is 40. So there are 41 centimeter cubes in B, and the volume of B is 40 cubic centimeters. Here's another way to find the volume of B. If you didn't have it all broken into these little cubes, you could do, if you know that the length of B is 5 centimeters and its width is 4 centimeters and its height is 2 centimeters. In layer 1, there are 5 times 4 equals 20 1 centimeter cubes. In 2 layers, there are 2 times 20 equals 5 times 4 times 2 equals 41 centimeter cubes. Or if you use the formula of the length times the width times the height, it would be 5 times 4 times 2 equals 40 centimeters cubed. So you'd get the same answer whether you were counting cubes or using multiplication to solve. So to find the volume of a rectangular prism, here's the formula: length times width times height. A rectangular prism measures 15 inches long, 8 inches wide, and 6 inches high. To find its volume, we think about the formula. The volume of the rectangular prism is length times width times height. So we have 15 times 8 times 6 equals 720 inches cubed. So make sure that you put that little 3 in the corner to indicate that it's cubed, that it's a 3-dimensional figure. A cube has edges that are 6 centimeters long, and to find its volume, a cube is a rectangular prism, which is the length, width, and height are equal length. You can still use the same formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism: length times width times height. So the volume of a cube is length times width times height, edge times edge times, or edge times edge times edge. I get it. So then 6 times 6 is 36, times 6 is 216. So we have 216 centimeters cubed. We're going to skip the guided learning because you'll be doing that with your IXL, and we'll go to this next learn section. So finding the volume of a liquid. 1 liter of liquid completely fills a rectangular container, 10 centimeters long, 10 centimeters wide, and 10 centimeters high. And we can recall that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So the volume of the liquid in the container is 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000 centimeters cubed. So 1,000 milliliters is 1,000 centimeters cubed. 1 milliliter equals 1 centimeter cubed. The capacity of a container is the maximum volume of liquid it can hold. So to find the volume of a rectangular prism using a formula, this is a rectangular prism of length L, width W, and height H. The volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. So the formula would be written like this. If V is the volume, then V equals L times W times H. V equals L times W times H is a formula for the volume of a rectangular prism. Since L times W equals the area of the base, the volume equals area of the base times height. If B equals the area of the base, then V equals B times H. V equals BH is another formula for the volume of a rectangular prism. And notice that it's a capital B because it's the volume of the whole base. Okay. So finding the volume of a rectangular prism that has a length of 14 and a width of 10 and a height of 9, you can use the formula V equals L times W times H, or volume equals length times width times height. So we're just going to multiply 14 times 10 times 9. So 14 times 10 is 140, times 9 is 1,260. So the volume of the prism is 1,260 cubic centimeters. Finding the volume of this rectangular prism, if the area of the base is 98 centimeters squared and the height is 3 centimeters, then we would know that volume equals base times height, the area of the base times the height. So that would be 98 times 3, or 294. And the volume of this prism would be 294 cubic centimeters. And we'll be doing the rest of this practice on IXL. So we're skipping here to the one-step word problems. The rectangular container shown is completely filled with water. How many liters and milliliters of water are in the container? So the volume of the water in the container is 15 times 10 times 8 equals 1,200 centimeters cubed. And remember that 1 centimeter cubed is the same as 1 milliliter. So 1,200 milliliters equals 1 liter with 200 milliliters. There is 1 liter, 200 milliliters of water in the container. And here's a two-step word problem. Each edge of an aquarium is 15 centimeters long. It contains 1.25 liters of water. How much more water is needed to fill the aquarium completely? And you're going to give your answer in liters, remembering that 1 liter is the same as 1,000 centimeters cubed. So the capacity of the aquarium is 15 times 15 times 15, which is 3,375 centimeters cubed, or 3,375 milliliters. And then remember, because there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter, we could write that as 3.375 liters. So the volume of water in the aquarium is 1.25 liters. And the volume of water needed to fill the aquarium completely would be the total amount of volume minus how much water is in there. So it would be the capacity minus the volume of water. So the capacity of the aquarium is 3.375 liters minus the 1.25 liters of water that's already there, which is 2.125 liters. So we would need 2.125 liters more of water to fill this aquarium completely. They're now going into three-step word problems. So the cubical tank on the left is 2/3 of the way full. The water in it has then been poured into the rectangular tank on the right until it is full. How much water is left in the cubical tank? Give your answer in milliliters. Wow, this is complex for 5th grade. They are expecting a lot of you. So what you're looking at first is you're going to measure the volume of water in the cubical tank. So that is 2/3, because it's 2/3 full. So 2/3 times the 21 times 21 times 21. So when you figure all of that out and you do 21 times 21 times 21 and multiply it by 2/3, then you would get 6,174 centimeters squared. And remember that centimeters squared is the same as milliliters. So you had 6,174 milliliters of water in the cubical tank. And you know the capacity of the rectangular tank here, so let's see, here's cubical, here's rectangular, is going to be the length times the width times the height. So 26 times 12 times 15. And if we were to do the math on that, we would end up with 4,680 centimeters squared, or 4,680 milliliters. So the volume of water left in the cubical tank is 6,174 minus 4,680. So you're looking at the total capacity of the rectangular tank here is the 4,680. The volume of water left in the cubical tank is what you started with, which was 6,174, minus what you poured into this container, which was 4,680. and the remainder would be 1,494 milliliters. So the cubical tank has 1,494 milliliters of water left.